Hi, I'm Richard Samueling. It's so nice to meet you. It all started when I was born on September 18, 1881, in England. My father Thomas Georging was born in 1834, in London. His occupation was a peddler. My mother Martha Jane Forsberry was born in 1847, in London too. I had 9 brothers and sisters: Henry, William, Emily, James, Jane, Frederick, Henry, Marion, and Ada. Families were large back then. I came to Canada at age 14 in 1896, following in the footsteps of my older brother Jim. When our father died, Jim and I sold our oxen in order to bring our mother and our sister Ada to Canada. After living in Ontario for a while, we moved to Alberta, where homestead land was available on the prairie. My mother suggested that I write to Louisa Wright, a girl she knew in England. The letter writing developed into a long-distance romance, and in 1913 I asked her to come to Canada and become my wife. I traveled with some friends to the closest train station, at Macklin, Saskatchewan. The train was delayed for 6 hours by a landslide, but when it arrived, Louisa and I were married. Louisa was born in 1884, in England. We had a wonderful marriage and a family of 6 children: Marion, Walter, Charlie, Dorothy, Violet, and Myrtle. Our life involved a lot of hard work and a lot of fun. I am glad for Louisa's love and patience over the years. We survived the hardships of the Great Depression. Sometimes the grasshoppers ate our crops, sometimes we had to move to farm in an area that had more moisture. Finally, in 1934 we moved to our last farm, east of the town of Breton. We moved by covered wagon, but not the usual kind. It was a tent set up on a hay rack, surrounded by our material belongings and some hay for the horses. During World War II, both of our sons joined the Canadian Army, and I am deeply thankful that both returned home safe after the war ended. After over 20 years on our farm, Louisa and I retired to Breton. As we became old, we moved to Wetaskiwin, where there were doctors and a hospital. I'm glad I shared my life story with you. I hope you found this interesting. Goodbye.